Hey there, Pisces. It's Keegan, and welcome to your spooky season reading with me. I hope that you guys have been doing well. I have been having a lot of fun doing these readings. You are my second to last in this series, and I'm just going to shuffle a little bit here while I'm talking to you guys. I like to shuffle a bit, even though I pre-shuffle these decks before hitting record. I like to shuffle a little bit while I'm actually talking to you and connecting to your energy. Okay, really quickly as I'm doing this, I want to let you guys know I'm running a special during the month of October for personal readings. I have readjusted my filming schedule for YouTube to make a little bit more space for personal readings during the last bit of this month. And I'm going to try my best to squeeze in everyone that I can. The first part of the month filled up very quickly after the first readings that I posted at the beginning of the month. So if you are interested, send me an email, keaghantarot@gmail.com. Let me know as soon as possible which length of reading you're interested in, and I'll get back to you to let you know how space is looking and the best way of getting that reading secured. I'm going to switch you over to a different camera angle and show you what I'm going to be focusing on with this reading. This is a you and them reading, so I'll be taking a look at your energy and the energy of another person. So you get to decide who this person is for you in this reading. I will be giving you the insight into how that person feels, their pain, their blind spot, their hidden fear, and their secret wish, and also looking at that for you as well. So if you are in a relationship with someone, you can choose to focus on that person. If there's someone from your past, you can focus on them. If you're single and you're not in a relationship, but you're interested in someone, you can focus on that person. And if you're single and you don't have anyone in particular in mind, you can still hang out with me in this reading and get insight. It would just be giving you insight into the person who is approaching you next, or your next potential romantic connection. Okay? So with that explained, I want to go ahead and shuffle a little bit more with this oracle deck. The first two cards that I select for your reading will be out of this oracle deck. One we will start with, the other we will end the reading with. The first one is going to be insight and guidance for you on how to heal the pain from the past. And the second card out of this deck will be information for you about how to secure the future that you want. Okay, so this is going to be the first card that we look at. I'm going to go ahead and do another cut and select the last card so that we have both of them selected. I'm going to place this card over on the other side into the spread. We'll talk about this oracle card first, then I will take the tarot deck that I've shuffled. I will lay your spread out entirely. All the cards will be face down, and I'll pull them over to this camera in groups of 2 and walk you through the entire spread. Okay, so Pisces, let's take a look and see what's going on here. What advice and guidance is coming through for you regarding healing the past? This card and other cards like it have been coming out a lot in these readings, and so I feel like this could just be collective energy of everyone needing this reminder. But this card says energy flows where my intention goes, and I'm going to try not to feel like I'm stuck on repeat and having deja vu. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about this and not rush through it. So it's very important, Pisces, especially I think with water signs, that we pay close attention to what our energy is like. If you're feeling like your energy is in a place where you're down, you're feeling like your energy is you're feeling sad or depressed, you're feeling trapped, you're feeling stuck, if that is what your energy feels like, pay really close attention to what your intention is. Okay? I also just ate dinner, so if you guys hear my stomach gurgling, I apologize. My microphone is very sensitive, and even though it's way over there, I think it might be picking up my little stomach gurgles, so apologies. But Pisces, let's talk about what this means, okay? If you're in a place where you are trying your best to protect yourself, you're trying to be guarded, you're trying not to be hurt, you're trying not to be disappointed, you're trying not, right? Like you're very focused on the things you don't want. Then your energy is going to match that. Your energy is going to feel like you need to be guarded. Your energy is going to feel down and depressed. Your energy is going to feel fearful and afraid. So if you can shift your intention instead to, I'm going to feel great in a month. I'm going to feel empowered. I'm going to feel brave. I'm going to bring people into my life who are supportive. I'm going to bring people in who show me that they are trustworthy. Then your intention then shifts your energy, and your energy flows towards manifesting that reality. and you will notice an actual improvement in your energy. Okay? So keep that in mind as we're going through this reading. Think about how your energy feels. And if your energy doesn't feel how you want it to feel, if your energy doesn't feel aligned to the type of future that you're hoping to manifest or create, then shifting the intention will allow your energy to flow in a new direction towards things that are better for you. So I'm going to give this deck one round of good cuts here. I'm going to deal the spread directly off the top. That's why I want to really mix these cards up and see what feels like it wants to go onto the top here. I guess those want to go right on top. Okay, I'm going to lay the spread out for you first. So that part is taken care of, and then we will work our way through it. If you are going to hang out with me, I just want to say thank you for spending some time with me during this weird quarantine situation and social distancing. Doing the readings for you guys and getting the comments from you and doing personal readings for some of you, it's really helped me to feel connected with people and like I'm having some sort of social outlet. So I do appreciate hanging out with me. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these first two cards. This is going to be the card representing the recent past and the main block going on here. I'll switch you over so you can see these a bit more up close. So let's take a look. What's happened in the recent past for you, Pisces? Seven of Wands coming out here upright. Very interesting. I don't know which sign had this, but one of the other signs that I had this as well. This is a place where you're looking at life and you're evaluating things and you're trying to figure out what you want to do. You're trying to figure out the best choices for you, the best decisions for you. You're looking at places where you have commitments, you have obligations, and you're deciding which of those you want to continue forward with, which of those you might want to let go of. And it's an energy that is really about evaluating the amount of energy and effort that you're putting into something and whether it's coming back to you, whether you're getting a return on that investment. And again, I say again because this feels a bit like deja vu because I had this conversation with someone else. It's about everything. It feels like it's about everything. You're looking at your career. You're looking at your friendships. You're looking at your romantic relationships. You're looking at your hobbies, your interests. You're looking at all across the board, and you're evaluating places where you're trying to make a decision about what it is that you want to keep putting effort into. There's a certain amount of energy here that is about balancing this feeling of holding out hope that continuing forward with something is worth it, and also defending yourself against something that isn't necessarily being returned or reciprocated. Okay, so that's what I'm getting in terms of the recent past. It's probably felt very much like you're in a situation where you're just evaluating everything. You're taking a look at everything and you're trying to make decisions about that. And it can possibly be feeling a little bit confusing to you. It can be feeling like you're in a place in which you're not quite sure what you want to do. Or you might find yourself being pulled towards certain choices or certain decisions that might be a little bit confusing for you. I want to say maybe it was Libra. It might have been Libra. I'm not sure. But this feels very familiar to me in terms of something that I did earlier in the day during the morning. So if you find yourself in that place where you're confused, you find yourself not quite understanding why you're feeling pulled in one direction instead of the direction that you think you might have gone in, and there's this confusion between wanting to be hopeful but also feeling a little bit defensive, just know that that's normal. And really finding a way to tune into your own intuition and your guidance around that is what's going to help you to unravel that and figure out which path forward is safe, which path forward maybe you don't need to explore that one anymore. What's the block going on for you here? Very interesting. So you have the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Coins coming out here, and it's upright. Okay. In terms of the block, I feel for you, Pisces, it's in your nature to assume that what you put into a situation will be returned to you. It's in your nature to be generous, to be helpful. and to be very tolerant. And I think that comes sometimes at a cost. It comes at a price, because there are people who will take advantage of that. There are people who will take and take and take and take as long as you're willing to continue giving. And you have to be able to be aware of that, and you have to realize, when and if you want to put an end to that. Now, I say when and if because sometimes we choose to invest in people. We choose to put an effort to people who maybe we don't get everything in return from that person, but we realize that we are investing in someone and we're trying to help someone, and we make that choice because that's what we feel like we want to do. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it can be very confusing. It can be a confusing place to try to decide when to cut something off, when to put a guard up, when to put a boundary in place, and when not to. And sometimes we choose not to do that, even though we could come up with a million reasons why we probably should do it. Okay? And I think that is the block here, because it's in your nature to want to help. It's in your nature to want to be there for people. But at some point, you do have to look at situations and decide, what are you going to continue forward with and what are you not? Because your ability to help, your ability to be there for people, your ability to give energy without getting energy back, that's finite. It has a limit. Everyone has a limit. Whether we want it to be limited or not, it is. So if you do decide to invest in a situation in which you're giving a lot and you're not getting a lot in return, you have to also make sure that it's balanced in situations where you are interacting with people who are giving to you as well, who are supporting you, who are there for you and nurturing you. Okay? So let's take a look here. We're going to move into the next part of the reading, which is taking a look at you and the other person. So I just want to say a couple of things here before we move into this. You need to decide who this other person is. This could be anyone, right? I gave several examples at the beginning, but I also want to say, this could be a friend, this could be someone in your family, right? The other person, this could be the other situation. So in this particular reading for you, I am picking up where you're trying to make some choices. So this could be, you could look at this and label this as being your career. You could look at this and label this as being your relationship with your family, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with whatever, right? But you need to decide what energy I'm picking up on here for you, and then listen to the messages that come through about it. Now, if you're not a Pisces and you're cross-watching this, trying to get insight into a Pisces, know that the energy can be reversed. So you might associate more with these cards than these. If the energy is reversed, if you allow the reading to come through in that way. So, what's going on? What's your pain? You have Judgment coming out here reversed, and I think that, again, I was sort of picking up on this already. Right? It's really hard for you to be in a place where you're not quite sure what to do, and I think that there's this weird mix going on here of judging yourself and questioning yourself and doubting what it is that you want, and also worrying about other people judging you for the decisions that you make. Really worrying a lot about whether people are going to understand the decisions that you make. Are people going to understand why you continue to put effort into something that doesn't seem like something that you should? Are people going to understand if you cut something off? If you make a change in the amount of energy and effort that you're going to put into it moving forward? There's a lot of that fear and worrying about things. I think that it's really important to be mindful of the importance of making these decisions without making those decisions based on fear, or making those decisions worrying about what other people are going to think. You have to ultimately do what's best for you, what feels best for you. So for the other person, the other situation, whatever you've assigned to that, what's the pain point there? We have the Ace of Wands coming out reversed. Immediately from this, I get a feeling that the painful part of this is around feeling like things have been misunderstood, that something has been communicated in a way that is not how it was meant, not quite knowing what to do about that, feeling like it's potentially come at a cost, that an opportunity's been missed because of some sort of miscommunication. There's also an energy here of something starting and not being able to continue forward and being ended. There's a pain point around that for this other person. Now, this could be a situation where you've made a decision to halt something, to stop putting effort towards it with another person. And that is what's coming through here for this person. Really being disappointed that this opportunity has fizzled out, that it hasn't been able from their perspective to have the time that they wish it would have had to be explored or to evolve or grow. Okay? And I do sense, again, communication issues playing a big part of that. I'm going to go ahead and grab the cards for blind spot. That's yours. This is for the other person. I want to just continue forward with this and see what we have coming out. Yeah. Blind spot for you is the High Priestess, coming out reversed. I think what's going on here for you, Pisces, is you don't understand that you aren't communicating clearly in certain situations. It could be that there are situations in which you feel like you're not being given back what you're putting in, but you're not making it clear what it is that you need. When the High Priestess comes out reversed, it's about hiding things, keeping secrets, keeping ourselves silent, withholding, withdrawing our energy. And if that's something that you're doing and you're not aware that you're doing it, it can cause problems. Because if we don't tell people what we need, if we don't tell people what we expect, we can't expect them to guess it. We have to be clear. We have to let them know what it is that we want. And if you're giving, and your expectation is that everyone is going, is like you, and they're going to give that freely and give that openly and give to that extreme, not everyone is like that. It doesn't mean that they aren't willing to give to you, but it's just there are some people, and this is fine, there's no judgment on this, but there are some people who are very protective of the amount that they give to other people. They're very protective of their energy. They're very protective of the amount that they put out. And if they aren't hearing from you that you need more, if they aren't hearing from you that you require them to give more or be there more or support more, if they aren't hearing that, they will assume that you're okay. They will assume that you are like them and that you only give what you can give. Okay? So be very mindful of that. What's the blind spot for this other person? Ooh. Okay. So we have the Magician coming out reversed here. I will give my disclaimer that I do in every reading. I don't like the Magician reversed. It's a card for me that can represent a very toxic person at its extreme. And I'm just going to start with the extreme version here. I don't want to form the entire reading around this. If you feel like you're dealing with someone who is toxic, abusive, a narcissist, someone who is a manipulator, someone who is up to no good, this is coming through, showing you that they are not even aware that they do this. It is their nature. It's not something that they have an awareness of. Consider this to be a warning. I'm going to talk about this card in terms of slightly less negative energy, now that I've said that, for those who needed to hear it. The lesser aspect of this card when it's reversed, which is still serious, okay? But it's not as extreme as what I mentioned before. The lesser aspect of this card is someone who doesn't realize that they manipulate situations. They could be very emotionally manipulative. They could leverage affection. They could leverage, their communication. They could use those things and pull them away to try to get what they want. Their energy isn't focused in a way that it should be, meaning they might say that something's important to them, but their efforts and their energy aren't aligned to that. It's a situation in which someone's not listening to their intuition. They are not realizing the potential that exists. They're not nurturing a situation that could be abundant for them. Okay? Regardless of what fits for you in terms of this person or the situation that you're looking for energy here from, just know that it's not something that they're aware of. It's a blind spot. It's something that they don't have a consciousness about. They lack self-awareness around the situation. So if they don't even have the awareness that they do this, it's unlikely that they're going to do anything, at least in the near future, to try to change it. They have to develop awareness of it first. They have to have acceptance of it first before they can do any true work. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm proud of myself for holding back and not going completely off the rails seeing that card. But for those of you who needed to hear it in terms of it being a very toxic person, I hope that you will listen to me about that. Hidden fear for you. Queen of Cups coming out reversed here. This is interesting. I think that the fear for you is really about your ability to be secure and be a bit independent in your connections with people. It's interesting because it's sort of what I was picking up on with that High Priestess reversed, and I was saying, if you assume, right, that everyone's like you, that everyone's going to give and be present and show up and invest and put in all this work and put in all this effort, right? If you assume that everyone is like that, then someone who comes in and they just have healthy boundaries, they want to have balance between their connection with you and their connection with other people and their connection with their love life and their connection with their job, and they're trying to find balance, and they aren't willing to go completely 100% floodgates open, giving to you, then that can feel like a place where you're not getting your needs met. And I think that you're developing an awareness of this as you learn more about yourself and you interact with people and you're trying to evaluate what's important to you and where you want to put your efforts. I think you're understanding that you yourself, it's okay for you to put boundaries in place and for you to have limits in terms of how much you give. And that's making you become aware of situations where perhaps your expectations of other people have been a little bit too much based on insecurity. The need to feel like someone will give and give and give and give and give no matter how much you request. And that is sort of the way that you evaluate whether or not that person truly cares. The Queen of Cups reversed can be a very smothering sort of energy, and that's what I'm talking about. It can be, this very insecure energy that becomes addicted to having love and affection shown and needs a lot of reassurance. And I think that this is really coming through as a fear that maybe you're not showing outwardly, but something that is present for you in the moment, trying to navigate that and figure out where that comes from and what that stems from. For the other person, their hidden fear coming out here is Temperance reversed. This makes sense, right? Everything I just talked about, right? I said this person is someone who likes to have balance. Right? I hadn't seen this card yet. But this person, their fear is that they can't have balance when it comes to dealing with you. That they can't focus in on work when they need to focus in on work and not have that be a situation where you feel like you're being sacrificed or that you're being ignored. This person has a fear of being able to have balance in this connection. What I will say here in terms of this person, for some of you, because again, this is a general reading. I'm not doing a personal reading. I know very often these readings can feel very personal, but I'm not reading for you personally. I'm reading for hundreds or thousands of people right now, okay? So for some of you, this person's fear is just that they can't have something balanced just in general, right? That their relationships are always going to be one of extremes of things feeling like they're a bit out of control or feeling like they are controlled in relationships. That might not be anything specific to you. Again, you have to hear the messages that are coming through and translate them to what's specific for you and your situation, right? But regardless, this person has fears around stability. This person has fears around balance and being able to have that sort of control of ensuring that they can keep things in check, that things don't become too extreme. Whether that is specific to you or just how they generally feel about relationships, take that as you want. So we're coming up to our final two cards here. Now this is the secret wish for you and the secret wish of the other person. And then we will click back over, look at the full spread so you can see that. And then we do have the remaining oracle card that is about how to secure the future that is revealed as the secret wish of these two people. Okay. Secret wish for you. Very interesting. 7 of Pentacles coming out here. Okay. Now you had the 6 of Pentacles earlier, which came out as the main block here. 7 of Pentacles coming out as a secret wish. It's reversed. And so let me talk to you about what the 7 of Pentacles means when it's reversed first. So the 7 of Pentacles coming out reversed is a place in which we worry about whether or not we're giving up on something too soon. We're not sure whether to keep going. We're not sure whether to walk away. We're questioning. We have doubts about whether there's a reward at the end of all of our efforts. It's very much the energy that I've talked about throughout this reading for you. Now, I don't think that your wish is to continue that, clearly. Your wish is to figure out how to sort through all of that, to figure out where to put your energy and effort, where to continue to put forth things, where it's okay if you know you're not going to get everything back that you put in, and where that's not okay for you. You're really wanting to try to figure that out and sort through it. Now for the other person, their secret wish coming out here, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands here coming out upright. It's very interesting. We're ending this reading in a very similar place to where we started it. You know, the Eight of Wands represents a place in which quick change happens. There's action that's taken, things turn about, we find out information, we get news delivered to us. This person wants to be able to get clarity, to get certainty, to communicate things. But there's a fear here that I'm picking up on, that they might communicate things in the wrong way. They wish to do this though, but I feel like they're holding back from doing it. They're holding back because they know that anything that they say, anything that they do at this point will lead to quick. Like, I'm feeling like if they say something, they get a quick response because of where you're at, right? It's almost like if they come in with this, even though they want to, I don't feel like they are, because I feel like if they do it, they feel like it will cause you to feel pressured and for you to feel like you need to make a split-second decision. And they're giving you space, I think, to think about this and ponder it and make the decision that feels best for you. They don't like it. They don't like it. And I'm saying that because of that Ace of Wands that came out in terms of their pain earlier on, where they feel like, you know, communication issues were a problem. Communication issues led to something that was, right, it's right here, the Ace of Wands reversed. Those communication issues led to something that was missed opportunity, something fizzled out before it had the amount of time that they wished that it had. Because of that experience, they're really holding back on the communication that they want to do, but that's their wish. To be able to say what they want to say, give you the news, give you the information, and request something really quick. But they know if they do that right now, it's probably not going to work out in their favor. Okay, let's see what the final oracle card coming out for you is. So this card says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Very, very similar to what I said at the very beginning for you, Pisces. You have to shift your mind so that you are manifesting the things that you want rather than trying to avoid the things you don't want. And when you do that, when you change your own mind and you have certainty and faith, the world around you will shift. You will have a different experience of the world. Okay? So, let's switch you guys back over so you can see the spread one last time. Again, if you want to look at this more deeply, reach out to me for a personal reading, KeaghanTarot@gmail.com. I will be back in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do readings during Scorpio season that are specific to what Scorpio season has in store for each of the signs. And I'm super excited about that. So I hope that if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, you'll go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can be notified when I post new videos and you can watch those. I'm really excited about doing those videos. And, you know, just figure this stuff out. Don't worry about what other people might think. Don't worry about the opinions of other people. Figure out what it is that you want, what you want to put your efforts and energy into. Make those decisions, commit to them, trust your gut, follow your instincts, and really focus on your energy. That's the best advice I can give you here at the end. Okay, Pisces, I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon.